detailing alleged cheating during the matriculation examinations at 69 examination centres across the country is expected to be released by the end of January. UMALUSI is still continuing with the probe into copying and cheating that has caused controversy to the credibility of the results of the class of 2014. Results of the 58 matric examination centres in KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape have been withheld following evidence of group copying found in these centres. According to UMALUSI Council chairperson, Professor John Volmink, it appeared that someone was dictating answers, of which some were incorrect, to students. Now, UMALUSI Chief Executive Officer Dr. Mafu Rakometsi is in the studio with us to explain the nature of the problem. Good morning to you, Doctor, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. Good morning to your viewers.
In a nutshell, Doctor, can you just explain to the viewers what were your initial findings?
Our initial findings were that the learners were providing the same answers, the same sentence construction, same punctuation, same right answers, same wrong answers. And that is worrying. It's a worrying trend indeed. And in some instances, there was evidence of dictation, where learners would follow the same person who's dictating to them, and some would lag behind because they would be slow in their responses. So there was clearly evidence of group cheating, and we instructed the Department of Basic Education to probe into this matter and follow up, and they came with the same evidence from the two provinces.
Are you dealing with suspicion, or are you viewing this as hard evidence? And then tell us, how does the investigation then proceed until the end of the month? We are
dealing with hard evidence. In one subject, in some instances, at one center, 2 subjects, 3 subjects. And what we need to do from now moving forward is for the department to continue with their probe. But they can't continue in the absence of UMALUSI. UMALUSI has to do the oversight of the probe so that we satisfy ourselves that it has been done, above board. Everything that has been done is above board, and that the findings are truly what they are.
It seems as if we have varying reports as to how widespread the problem is. Can you maybe put us into the picture as to what are we dealing with? 2 provinces, 3 provinces, 7 provinces in some instances, in some reports? What is your view on how widespread the problem is?
Let me split the provinces into 2 plus 5. The 2 provinces, KZN and the Eastern Cape, were identified by UMALUSI.
Yeah.
UMALUSI then instructed the department to go and do further investigations, and the department came back with 39 centers in KZN and with 19 centers in the Eastern Cape. Just on the eve of the release of the results, the department came back to us, having visited KZN and the Eastern Cape again with my senior officials, and they were able to clear 11 of the 39 centers in KZN.
Yeah.
And they were able to clear 3 centers of the 19, so that in KZN, as things stand, we remain with 28 centers. And in the Eastern Cape, we remain with 16 centers. Having said that, the department on their own found 5 other provinces to have cheated in this manner. And in those provinces, we've got 1 center, 2 centers, 6 centers, so that it is not as widespread as it was in the Eastern Cape and in KwaZulu-Natal.
The cheating, as you call it, widespread it is. How did it take place? It must be in cahoots with those people running the centers. Is that your view as well?
Our view is that there is no way in which the whole center can cheat without collusion with the invigilators, with the chief invigilators, people who have been put in a position of trust. And that, for me, is very much worrying, that people who have been put in a position of trust can engage in this kind of cheating. Learners may want to cheat for one reason or the other, but supervisors, teachers, have to be there to stop them.
You touched on a little bit earlier. Maybe you can just give us a little bit more detail about the nature of it. It's not the entire examination that's under suspicion in these areas. It's specific subjects. Is that accurate?
It is a specific subject. But my point is, if one subject is suspect at one center and all learners were involved, and the invigilators and the chief invigilators were colluding with the learners, what can we still trust at that center? That is my question.
Yeah.
What can we still trust at that center?
Yeah, it puts the entire process under cloud, really. But now, under cloud is also the future of affected learners, and they have to now wait for this investigation to conclude before they can move on with their lives in a way. How do you plan to expedite this process?
First of all, I want to say I sympathize with the innocent learners and say those who are innocent at those centers, I really sympathize with them. But we'll try and expedite the process by deploying our officials once more with the officials of the department, so that come the end of January, those who are innocent would have been cleared, so that their future are not impacted negatively unnecessarily.
Now, we've gone into a new curriculum in the last period, the CAPS curriculum. Do you, as UMALUSI, see this as maybe a reason why people found it a little bit difficult this time around, and maybe were tempted a little bit more to cheat because they felt under pressure because of this new curriculum?
The new curriculum might have been difficult because it is much more broader, it is much more deeper. We have introduced more depth, we have introduced more breadth.
Yeah.
But that is not the reason for cheating, honestly. Because I've seen learners celebrate. They were jumping, holding newspapers, seeing their student numbers in the newspapers. What are you celebrating if you know you have cheated? What are you celebrating? We must celebrate the fact that learners have passed, those who have passed genuinely, and they have passed honestly. That can be celebrated. But if you know you have cheated, there is honestly nothing to celebrate.
Earlier in the week, Dr. Rakometsi, in your capacity as the CEO, you promised drastic measures against those involved. What type of action would you like to see taken against the perpetrators?
Well, the penalties are for the Department of Basic Education and the provincial education departments to implement. They will investigate, will be doing oversight. There are different sanctions that have to be given depending on the extent of the malpractice, of the irregularity. So they'll investigate. Once the investigations would have been done, they will then be able to determine the extent of the problem and the penalties that have to be given to the different learners.
There are certain sections of South Africa who now, because of this sort of cheating, have cast a shadow of doubt over the results of the 2014 class. What is your message to the doubters out there about the class of 2014?
I want the class of 2014 to celebrate their results. Those who got their results, they should know that the quality assurer, UMALUSI says everything is above board, and they have to celebrate without flinching. They don't have to doubt their results. They have to celebrate because the quality assurer has said, in this instance, in these centers, everything is above board.
Well, that's the good news. We hope that the matter is expedited and handled in the manner that you said it will. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.